Good morning, everyone. I'm here today at USC right here in LA. And today they're doing the, what's it called again? Let me check. Oh yeah, the Festival of Books by Los Angeles Times. So this is pretty exciting. This is my first one ever. Even though I don't read much books, but you know, it's a good place to check out some authors and other people. So today I'm here for a couple of reasons, but you'll see in the video. But as of now, I'm gonna go pick up my media credential passes so I could record this. And by the way, you guys, I want to give a shout out to Los Angeles Times for giving me the pass as well. So can't wait to pick it up right now. Oh man, it's kind of a nice campus, isn't it? By the way, I used to have prom over there almost a decade ago. I had a all right prom, I must say. Not the best, but you know what? I don't care. Okay, so I found the credentials, and you know what? I'm glad I made that choice because, oh my god. Hershey's, Snickers, and bananas, I guess. I don't know. Well, here it is, you guys. My second ever media pass. First one was for Lightbot Expo, which I love so much. And you know what? I'm pretty happy getting this, you know? I'm pretty happy about it. So far, today's weather is not that bad. I think we're almost to the 70s, almost to 80s, but it's still really fresh. I can still wear this hoodie. A lot of great people are here today. You got Chris Pratt's wife. You got Idina Menzel again. You got Cara Mentzel again. They're back here to promote more of Loudmouth. Yeah, I'm surprised there's some really, you know, well-known people here in this event. I'm surprised nobody know about it, and this is a free event. It charges for some panels, but you can go in for free, just like, you know, like a free convention, I guess I would say. So yeah, I'm just taking a look right now. It's so lovely though. I really do love how it's set up. Yeah, this is nice. Domingos con Vuela. It's a new kids book I found. Oh my god, this is so lovely. Look at her lovely dress.
Thank you so much.
Of course. This is absolutely lovely.
One joyful scoop at a time. And it's about my grandson.
Okay.
Lots of energy, gets into trouble, doesn't like to listen to instructions. And at the end, he decides to grow up on his own. And he starts listening, and he gets the big prize that he always wanted, which was chocolate ice cream.
Ah, chocolate helado. I love that.
Sí, helado de chocolate.
Yep, love that so much. Yeah, this is really nice. I like these books already.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Of course. I gotta support my heritage, you guys.
Thank you.
Of course.
Good luck.
All right then. Almost an hour in, I'm having so much fun here. This is just great. That's why I like to meet so many new people around here. Talented people that write books, to illustrate. What I do in my life, you know, just be an artist. Come to these events, you get word of mouth. It's pretty helpful. Alright, just spin the wheel. Let's see what I got. No!
So you can come in the tent, you can go on the grass, or you can use the table and do table push-ups. So you have 3, and then you can get a prize.
Well, at least it's 3, so that's good.
We're gonna have a lot of fun today. I'm Trevor Walls. You might know me from the Zing Zangs or my radio show, The Goober Hour. I am so honored to be hosting all day with you. We're gonna have so many amazing authors, illustrators, and performers bringing you music, bringing you storytelling, bringing you conversations. It's gonna be so much fun. So I wanna mention, this is really important. Books by the authors and performers on this stage can be purchased at the Malik Books booth right over there. Yeah, look at them. They're amazing. They're a local bookstore. So head to that special seller booth anytime. That's actually where the authors are going to be signing their books too after they perform for you. So definitely check out Malik Books over there. Thank you for being a festival partner, Malik Books. Lastly, just a few safety notes. Please be aware of your surroundings. If you see anything out of the ordinary, please report it to the nearest festival security or fire staff. In the event of an earthquake, please drop cover and hold. Move away from buildings, don't panic or run. And now that we got all the safety stuff out of the way, yeah, gather around. Nice to see you. This is an odd question. Do we have any book fans here today?
I'm a casual.
That should be all of you, actually. That really should be all of you.
By the way, I'll be here all day just to wait for Idina. Idina and Cara. Sorry, I forgot these two.
Yes.
Buenos dias!
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, LA Times Festival of Books. Give it up! Thank you. Estoy chaparrita. All right, it's so good to be here with you today to share with you this book that has been 5 years in the making. And the book is about my distant tia abuela, Jovita Valdovinos, who lived in Mexico over about 100 years ago. And they didn't let her wear pants, and she did something very brave. So watch along. It's so sweet that we have these screens so that you could see these beautiful illustrations created by Molly Mendoza. Molly Mendoza is an Eisner award-winning author, and she just did an extraordinary job, and I think you'll agree. All right, so you ready?
Sí.
I'm not going to read from the book because I got a fancy screen in front of me. All right. Okay.
I'm so glad my heritage is here right now. This is great. We're getting children's book based on my Mexican culture.
Okay. All right. So that's me. Just a little bit about me. That was me and my family. If you're in this picture on the right, can you raise your hand? If you're here. There's a couple of people here. That's my family.
I'm the pretty one.
and that's me when I was about 7 years old, and this is the community and the people that made me, and these are relatives, all of us, of Jovita Valdovinos. That's my mom in the middle, who is related to her directly. All right, it works. All right, one thing that we didn't have when we were growing up, we had lots of love, right? Lots of love, but what we didn't have were books. And until in the 5th grade, my teacher gave me a book for the first time. His name was Mr. Clark. And Mr. Clark gave me this book that was just changed my life forever. And he gave me a Parker pen. You see that right there? They were like these special pens back in the day. They were like so beautiful. And I used to write and write and write and write. And I never knew that I could actually do something with my writing until I got to college. And when I was in college, I read the work of Elena Maria Viramontes, Sandra Cisneros, and then all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, you mean all the things that I've been writing with my Parker pen this whole time could actually be in a book? It's like, this is amazing. And so that's when I decided I am going to become an author. And this is me now. These are all of my books. This is I'm also a translator because I'm lucky enough to be bilingual. And these are some of the translations. But today we're going to get to talk about Jovita. And Jovita, there's Molly Mendoza and me, and we're very excited to present. We were presenting for the first time and meeting actually for the first time. Because if you know anything about bookmaking, a lot of times the illustrator and the author don't meet, and this is our first time after the book was published. All right, without further ado, the Jovita wear pants. Jovita dreamed of wearing pants like her brothers Ramon and Luciano. As was expected in rural Mexico in the 1910s, Abuela and her sisters, she made them wear big skirts. Jovita hated the way they tangled like weeds around her legs as she scaled the tallest mesquite tree in Rancho Palos Blancos. She wanted to ride morongo and feel the wind curl her face into a smile. Each morning, Jovita snuck out to tend the animals on the rancho and race Ramon. When she was well out of sight, she her skirts into her bloomers with her makeshift pants, Jovita could leap and easily outrun Ramon. Together they explored the campo. Jovita discovered the way leaves rustle when rain is coming, where healing plants grow, the shape of every cave and what might lurk inside. Wolves, coyotes, rattlers. She followed the rollicking rivers that gave fish and fresh water. She listened to the songs of the sensontles and the morning doves, a gentle coo-coo, hoo, hoo, hoo. As Jovita grew, she heard whispers of a revolution in Mexico. The government made laws that took power away from the Catholic Church and prevented people from practicing religion. Papa joined the Cristeros, the revolutionaries fighting for their rights against the Federation, and rode into La Sierra with Luciano and Ramon. Jovita was left behind, but she dreamed of accompanying her father and brothers riding morongo toward freedom. One day, when Jovita was out with her abuela and sisters, the government soldiers came to Palos Blancos in a fiery rage. The family returned home to find ashes where their house had been and the barn still smoking. Jovita rushed abuela and her sisters to the cave she knew so well. As soon as it was safe, they moved to another rancho where Jovita formed a plan. Of course Jovita would make a good soldier. She was wise about the countryside, could ride better than most men, and was not afraid. The next time Papa returned from the battlefield, she made her case. Papa agreed to take Jovita, but only to observe. He never let her fire a shot, nor wear pants. Jovita memorized Papa's strategies as they sat by the campfire eating what they hunted. Beneath a blanket of shimmering stars, she understood that La Sierra de Morones would always be her friend. When Jovita was 15, the government soldiers captured her and demanded information about Papa. No matter how they hurt her, she stood as strong as a mountain and did not give him up. With the stealth of a fox, Jovita escaped into the moonlight, finding her way home to Abuela, guided by the silvery shadows of the mountains she knew so well. Then, one terrible day, soon after Jovita returned home, the government killed Luciano. In her sadness, Jovita pushed again to become a soldier, but Papa refused. Jovita and her sisters and Abuela were scattered like pollen across Mexico, forced to live with different relatives so they could be safe. After a few years, the family reunited and the fighting calmed. Religion was practiced once more, but old war grudges remained. The government, still mad at Papa and his revolutionaries, found Papa and Ramon and engulfed them in a storm of bullets. Jovita never saw them alive again.
Oh no.
Sorrow swirled inside Jovita's heart. Her sadness found sympathy with other Cristeros who met one evening to form a plan for justice. When she returned, Jovita cut her long hair short. Next, she put on Ramon's cotton shirt, overalls, riding boots, and wide-brimmed straw hat. Jovita was reborn a pants-wearing coronel named Juan. She was ready to reignite the revolution. Juan rode into La Sierra de Morones with 80 soldiers and her dog. Her soldiers agreed if the government could kill cristeros in a time of peace, the right to practice religion was still not safe. Juan would lead them to victory. Juan knew where to graze every horse in every green grassy field and how to find the mesas so big they shot straight up to touch the sky. She could close her eyes and name every spring that grew out of the earth and the ways the rivers and streams wrapped like necklaces along the mountains. As Juan, Jovita could finally wear pants, breathing in the clean Sierra morning air, ready to fulfill her mission of justice. Jovita's peasant army fought dangerous battles against the powerful government. Her skills were sharp. She listened closely to her dog's warnings that the enemy was near and rode flat on her belly while shooting. Her knowledge of the Sierra and the secrets of the land helped them win or escape each time. They fought hard for 6 years, and finally the Federation offered Jovita a truce. She weighed her options and thought of her loved ones. She had won many battles, but had also seen the loss of many lives. Jovita decided to surrender peacefully to the government. Word of Jovita's courage spread like wildfire across the Sierra. She became so well known that a songwriter wrote a corrido in her honor. President Cárdenas insisted on meeting the colonel who had given them such a hard time on the battlefield. Jovita strode out of that room, a proud revolutionary fighter. She had surrendered one battle, but won another. She wore a wide-brimmed hat, a long-sleeved cotton shirt, riding boots, and a crisp pair of new blue jeans. She wore them well, like she always dreamed. And this is the real Jovita Valdovinos right there. That's the picture of her. Isn't that amazing? The real woman who fought for justice. And that picture of her there in 1935, nearly 100 years ago. And this is a closer shot of her, of Jovita wearing pants. During that time, you know, that was not something anybody could do. It was kind of shocking. And that's her dog was named El Africano, and so and he really would alert her of danger. And this is the Sierra where we were born, in Zacatecas, Mexico, in Jalpa, Zacatecas, and that's me and my son. We went. There's up on top of that mountain. There's a beautiful capilla, a church for La Virgen de Guadalupe, and that shows the Sierra down below. And this is some more pictures of Jovita, not dressed as a man, but she was a beautiful young woman, and that's her father and her brother Ramon, right next to each other, and that's her grandmother and her sister and her brother Luciano. And see, this is my mother right here on the left. Well, it's the left to me. Is it the left to you? Yeah, okay, on the left, that's my mom, who you saw early on, hugging us all. That's her as a young woman. And the people in the middle are my grandparents. And the man sitting on the, is my grandfather, Chema Viramontes, who was also cristero, and he fought alongside Jovita, and they were cousins. And so my grandfather's father, my great-grandfather is standing on the left in that group of men, and he and Jovita's father were cousins. And you can see the relation in their faces. And this is Jovita. As an old woman, she died of cancer, and this is her gravesite, Jovita Valdovinos Medina, and she, you know, she retired in Jalpa, Zacatecas, and lived a beautiful life, and always daring and always brave. All right. So that's it. But I would love to answer any questions. If there are any questions about Jovita, we have a little. What? Yes.
It's not really a question, but I am actually related to Emilio Zapata from the
Oh,
Mexican
you're related to? I mean,
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow, Zapata. All right. We've got some revolutionary blood in here. That's awesome.
Yep.
And is there another question? Yes.
What inspired you to write on?
That is awesome.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the kids for bringing your adults with you. Good job. Now, I want to hear from only people under the age of 18. I want you to shout really loud if you like to read. Say, I like reading. I love books. Okay, good job. Well, my name is Stacey, and I like books too. And this is me when I was about your age. See? You see the hair? It looks a little like me. See the same hair? I have better bows on that one. And now I'm going to read to you from my book. It's called Stacey's Remarkable Books. You ready? Okay, I need y'all to... Are y'all ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. It was recess, the best time of the day. Kids ran around the playground shouting and laughing, playing and jumping. That is, everyone except for Stacey. Instead of playing, Stacey lay beneath the big tree and read her book. In books, she could pretend to be good at everything, like making new friends and trying new things. When she read books, she could be anyone. A magician, or a superhero, or a pirate sailing on the high seas. But in real life, she was just Stacey. Can I sit here too? Stacey looked up and saw Julie, the new kid. They were both in Miss Blakesley's class. Have you ever been the new kid? Yeah. Sure, Stacey said. Want to read one of my books? Julie shook her head. No, thanks. Do you like reading? Asked Stacey. I love it. I do too, said Julie, but I'm not very good at reading in English yet. Stacey thought for a moment, and she smiled. Today is your lucky day. Today is Thursday, Adventure Day. Everyone say Adventure Day.
Adventure Day.
Adventure Day was her own special name for the day the whole class visited the library. Mrs. Blakesley announced that it was time to go back inside. Come on, Stacey said to Julie. After math, we'll be on our way. Soon, the afternoon bell rang. Together, the class walked through the hallways to the library. The amazing room of books and magazines and computers, and best of all, stories. Has anybody been to a library? Raise your hand if you've been to a library. Yeah, I love libraries. My mom used to be a librarian.
Help yourself.
When the class entered the library, Mr. McCormick, the librarian, greeted them with a smile. Then he repeated what he said every Thursday.
Welcome to the Library of Learning. Touch everything. Read anything. Find your new favorite book. And be kind.
Stacey showed Julie her favorite section of the library. Taking turns, they picked out a stack of books almost as tall as they were. And they walked carefully to a yellow reading table. Mr. McCormick says we can find answers to almost every problem in the library, Stacey said. My mom and dad say reading well takes practice. Why don't we practice together? At home, I read in my family's language, Julie explained. Intrigued, Stacey asked, what language does your family speak? Vietnamese. Julie looked around the rows and rows of books that lined the library walls. One day, though, I would like to read every story in here. I'd like to tell stories, too. Stacey understood. She had the same dream, to read every book ever written, to tell stupendous stories using extraordinary words. Maybe if we read together, we can make our dreams come true. Julie grinned. I like that. From then on, every Thursday, Stacey and Julie went on their own adventures. They hunted through the bookshelves to find tales they could read together. They giggled about an octopus who could play 8 instruments. A mystery about a hidden fox gave them the chills. With each book, they took turns sounding out the words. If Julie stumbled, Stacey would help. One afternoon, Julie brought another student named Hattie to their table. Hattie's family had moved from Gambia the year before. Do you want to read with us? We're starting a reading club, Stacey said. In our new book, we're floating in space with astronauts and applesauce. Applesauce, I know, crazy. The story is Hai Ka, said Julie. That means so cool in Vietnamese. Yes, I'd love to be in the club. Dana Kotan. Hattie winked at Julie. That means I'm happy in Wolof. Soon they were adding new readers to their club. They read at recess, at Julie's house, by Hattie's pool, in the park at Sam's birthday. Sam's family had moved from South Korea years before he was born. He showed everyone the book that Stacey had given him. Gomawayo, he said to her, thank you. In Sam's new book, the reading club met a turtle who could predict the future. Have y'all ever met a turtle who could predict the future? Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know yet. He hasn't told you. With her new friends, Stacey learned beautiful words in languages she had never heard before. And she got to know more kids in her class. The reading club got bigger and bigger, and the stories got better and better. When the bell rang one Thursday, Stacey quickly got in line. Jenny, who sat on the other side of class from Stacey, came over. I'd like to join the reading club. I checked out an awesome book about a dinosaur who learns to dance in the ballet. Can you imagine a dinosaur in the ballet? Yeah. Jenny was very popular, but Stacey had never talked to her. I haven't read that one yet, Stacey said shyly. Vamos a reír mucho, Jenny exclaimed in Spanish. We're going to laugh a lot. More and more kids began to join the reading club, like Vikal, whose family came from Indonesia. Even kids from Mrs. B's class. Each brought their own words and different histories. Mr. McCormick got permission for the reading club to stay after school. He brought them special books written about where each of them was from or in the languages they spoke. One afternoon at recess, Julie and Stacey finished another terrific story. Want to play kickball? Julie asked. Stacey shook her head. No thanks. Why not? They look like they're having fun. Because I'm not very good at games like that. Well, maybe if you played more, you could improve, Julie teased her. My friend Stacey told me it helps to practice. Stacey stared at the kids running around her. Her stomach wobbled. Your stomach ever wobbled because you're nervous? Yeah, her stomach wobbled, but this time she felt excitement instead of nervousness. If she tried, she could be out on the playground, spinning in circles and running like a cheetah, laughing and having fun, like her favorite characters in her favorite books. Julie took Stacey's hand. Come on, it'll be an adventure. Say adventure.
Adventure.
Stacey imagined kicking the ball so high it would reach the sun. Let's go. The end. Thank you guys. Okay, we're going to do one word together. Everybody say adventure.
Adventure.
Everybody say books.
Books.
Books are
Awesome.
an adventure. Books are an adventure. Let's go. Thank you.
All right, everybody, give it up. Toward the middle, the screens are blocking. So I'm Jeffery Brown. I'm a cartoonist, and when I was a kid, I loved writing and drawing. I love writing stories. I love drawing pictures, and that's why comics always seem like the best thing in the world, because I get to write, I get to tell stories, but I get to write and draw at the same time. And most of you probably know me from my Star Wars books, and I'll draw something from Star Wars, but maybe some of you already know how to draw this. How many of you know how to draw Darth Vader? Okay, just a few of you. Well, how many of you know how to draw a circle? What about a triangle?
Yep.
What about like a line?
Yep.
Easy, right? So this is how you draw Darth Vader, and you just need to know those three things: how to draw a circle, a triangle, and a line. So the first thing you're going to do is just draw just a half a circle. Don't draw a full circle yet. And then draw a line right down the middle, and there you have it, Darth Vader. Oh, not done yet.
No, that's just head.
All right, at the bottom of each side here, you're going to draw a full circle. And then at the top of there, because right now he just looks like a very surprised Darth Vader, you're going to draw like a crescent, and that kind of gives Darth Vader his, helmet eyebrows. And then you're going to start drawing triangles. There's going to be a lot of triangles here. You're going to draw a triangle on this side, triangle over here, triangle right in the middle, triangle on that side, on this side, a couple more. And then, of course, at the end, you have to add the lines on Darth Vader's helmet, so you can do the loud breathing. So one of the great things about comics is when you see like Darth Vader in the movie, there's actually a lot of detail to his costume, and his helmet can be pretty hard to draw. But with comics, you can reduce things down to just a few simple shapes to draw them, and it becomes a lot easier. So even though this is just some circles and triangles and lines, you can tell it's Darth Vader. But it's still a lot of work goes into making these books. So for the Star Wars books, the Darth Vader and Son books are about 60 pages long, but I have to come up with like over 100 ideas, like 150 ideas. And so this is a sketchbook of a current Star Wars book, and you can see I've just filled it with hundreds and hundreds of ideas. Mm-hmm. And this is a book about some new characters that I'll draw one of the characters from this book and see if you all can recognize. This is my pocket there. And so this one, no, it's not green Darth Vader. Does anyone recognize?
Grogu! Grogu! Sing Grogu! Spoilers. Grogu!
So anyone who said Yoda was like half right, but it's Baby Yoda, it's Grogu.
Yeah.
So one of the key, so both Yoda and Grogu have huge ears. Grogu's eyes are a little bit cuter than Yoda's, so I'm giving him some cute eyes here. And the other big difference, of course, is Yoda has lots and lots of wrinkles, and Grogu just has like a few wrinkles. So Yoda has old man wrinkles, and baby Yoda gets just baby wrinkles. So. There's baby Yoda.
Oh my god, I love this drawing so much.
And so these Star Wars books, they're more like what would be called gag comics. So there's just, kind of one joke on each page, and they're a lot of fun to do. But I also do like middle grade books, middle grade graphic novels with like a longer narrative. And those books are also a lot of work. And I'll show you a couple things from the process of making one of those books. So this is from my Batman and Robin and Howard series, and this is a first rough draft. And you can see I've written and drawn the entire book here, and almost like with stick figures. And so I have to write and draw the entire book. I send it to my editor. My editor gives me notes, and I take those notes. And then I have to do a second rough draft. And so this is a sketchbook I'm still working on, so there's not a lot of drawing in it, but you can see there goes my paper. You can see I'm still planning out panels and things. But I've got to write and draw the entire book again. Send that to my editor, get notes, and then I do the final artwork. So I'll draw a character from this series here, who you'll also probably recognize.
That Catwoman?
Did someone say Catwoman?
I'm kidding, we know who he is.
Yeah, it's Batman. And so Batman's really cool, he's really intimidating. And if there's one thing Batman does when he sees crime in the city, is he tells people he's Batman.
I'm Batman. Yeah, go ahead.
So there's Batman. All
Of course.
We'll lose the whole thing.
Oh no, Batman has left.
That is an elegant and simple solution here. So I'm gonna lift one. Perfect. Okay. All right. So that was Batman. So I drew Batman kind of more detailed, but as I said, I start off with drawing kind of an almost stick figure rough draft. And does everyone know how to draw a stick figure? It's pretty simple, right? Just that. But if you think about it, that seems pretty simple, but you can really make your stick figures way fancier, very simply, with just one little trick. Well, two little tricks. So you're going to start with a head like normal, but instead of a line, we're going to just kind of draw a rectangle. And instead of, we don't walk like this actually, so that kind of doesn't make sense. So you're going to make your arms and legs a little bendy. And so this is not that much more complicated than drawing a stick figure, but it'll make your drawings look a lot more fuller and real. And so I'll draw how I draw one of my characters, Lucy Neanderthal, in the rough draft stage, the first rough draft stage. So I start off with her head, and she's wearing kind of like a Stone Age dress. It's kind of like that. Give her kind of bendy arms, and then just some detail for her face. And so in my rough draft, I can easily recognize that character. And when I do the second rough draft, I add a little more detail, and it's still, I draw pretty quick and rough, because I don't need it to be exact. But here's Lucy in the second rough draft version. And you can see here, or if you look closely, she's only got like 3 fingers, and this is barely a foot. But you can kind of recognize all the parts are there. And that's the thing about drawing in rough drafts, is it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. In fact, it's almost never going to be perfect the first time you draw something. So if you're a kid and you want to be an artist, just remember that if it doesn't turn out right the first time you draw it, that's totally okay. All right, I'll draw one more thing, and then I'm going to take some questions. So if you've been... Here, can I grab... I'll draw one more thing. So if you have questions, get ready. But I'm going to draw the character from my new book, Thor Loki. And so even when I'm drawing Star Wars or superheroes, I like to draw on my own life experiences. So with Thor and Loki, they're brothers, and they get in kind of mischief. And sometimes one or the other is like, kind of playing a prank, like Loki's turning Thor into a frog or something. But then sometimes they're both getting into trouble together, and sometimes they're actually nice to each other. And that's kind of how it is with siblings. Like, sometimes you're giving each other a really hard time, and then other times you're best friends. And so that's kind of how Thor and Loki are in my book. So here's Thor. Thor was holding his hammer in the wrong hand, I realized, as I was drawing this, but it's too late now. And so I've drawn Thor quite a few times. I started drawing Thor when I was a kid just reading comic books, and so I think I've gotten fairly good at it. Let's add one last touch of some lightning.
Nice.
So there's Thor. All
Yeah.
right, so thank you. So we have time now for some questions. So I'm really hoping some of you have questions, because I really don't have any questions for myself because I know everything I think. So yes.
Yeah.
You.
What is the biggest, what is the biggest inspiration? What is the best advice you have for many young artists like me?
The best advice I have for any artist.
Yes.
Okay, so like if you want to be a cartoonist or a writer, the first thing I always say is read. Just read everything. Because reading is learning about storytelling. And so if you want to be a storyteller, the more stories you read, like, you'll pick up things without even realizing it for when you want to write your stories. And the second, the most important thing is you have to make the work. So one time, like, someone wrote to me and they asked, I have an idea for a graphic novel, how do I get it published? And it was hard because I had to tell them, I had to break the unfortunate news that people don't publish ideas, they publish books. And so if you have an idea for a graphic novel, just go and write it and draw it. And the thing is it all takes practice. So you're not gonna necessarily get it right on the first try. And then one last, this is like a kind of an easy tip for if you're learning to draw, is to look at other comics and copy them. So one of the ways I learned to draw was I drew this character a lot when I was a kid. And
Oh, is that Garfield?
yeah, someone recognized this already.
Yeah.
This is Garfield.
Yep, that's Garfield.
So Garfield was like my favorite comic to read growing up. And so one of the ways I practiced drawing was, I started out, I would take a Garfield comic and then I would trace it. I would just have like a transparent piece of paper and I would literally just trace the drawing. And then I got pretty confident doing that, and I was like, well, I probably know how to draw Garfield well enough, like I could just look at a picture of Garfield and draw it. And I did that a lot, and eventually it got to the point where I could just draw Garfield from memory. And so practice is an important part of just work. And the more you write and draw, like the better you'll get at it. All right, there at the lightning bolt.
Yeah, I just saw Cara and Idina over there.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the children's stage. How are we doing? Yeah. I'm your host, Trevor Walls. I can't believe you all came out to see me. This is incredible. You're here to see me. You Trevor Walls fans? No? Who are you here to see? Aida Menzel and Cara Mentzel. That's precisely who's about to come out, reading their first children's book, Loud Mouse. We've got the award-winning, incredibly talented Idina Menzel and her amazing sister. She's an author and educator, Cara Mentzel. Give it up for Idina and Cara, everybody.
Hi everybody, how are you? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear my sister? Good afternoon. She talks a little softer than her big sister. Yes, because she's the loud mouse. I'm the loud mouse.
The line for Idina and Cara is super long. They started while the show was starting, so it's kind of crazy. But to be fair, I'm so glad to see them again at least, you know. I just want them to update my signatures at least, you know. Like a secondary signature or a note at least, you know, just saying that something, I don't know, personal. I don't know, whatever. I'll just do anything with it. Here they are again. Gotta love these two every time. Such amazing shape. Alright, so I got another one signed though. Honestly, this is actually better than the first one she signed. Yeah, this is definitely a keeper in my opinion. Yeah. Alright, so one more thing before I do, I check out the Broadway session. Since we got Idina in my video again, why not just look more on Broadway? Well, I gotta say, it was another successful day in my opinion. Got to see Idina and Cara again. They're just as nice as the first we met, so that's good to hear. I told Idina I'll be at her next concert, which I already got reserved for. And that's it. I'm actually done for today. I'm just gonna get something to eat because I'm hungry. I haven't ate much all day. They only gave me as a free snack. And that's it. I don't want any more chocolate because, you know, I'm on a diet kind of. All right, so I'm gonna get something to eat for now and I'll be signing off for today. I think this video might have taken a little longer, like less than an hour. I'm not gonna make it too long. My estimations will be at least 45 minutes. But yeah, that'll be it for today, you guys. I'll be heading back home and relax for a bit and edit this and upload it, you know, the usual. And then, yeah, I guess that's it for now. I have to get going. Thank you guys for watching. You can comment, subscribe. You can help donate to my Patreon. Little $1 a month. You can cancel anytime and such. Yeah. And to everyone around here, to everyone else that say hi to me, thanks. It's been a great time. Hopefully I'll come back again next year. I don't know. But we'll wait and see. Alright guys, that'll be it for now and see you all next time. Chill.